Hello and welcome to the first edition of the HASCast. I'm Amanda Allred and I'm here with John Buchanan of Shell, the 2010 chairman of the Safety, Health and Environmental Resource Committee.
That's correct.
All right, we're very excited today to talk about the XXIII banquet that's coming up.
And Amanda, that is the Safety Excellence Awards banquet for the Houston Business Roundtable. And again, thank you for having me today as we discuss this excellent process that we have here.
Well, I couldn't be joined with a better co-host because John has been very active on this committee for years. He served as an audit team leader for how long?
At least 5 years.
At least 5 years, and your role this year is what?
I am the chairman of the committee and looking forward to moving the committee and the banquet into a new level. Our previous chairman, Bruce Lushbaugh, was a great benefit to the organization as well as the excellence process, and he did a great job, and we'd like to thank him for his service. And as we move forward, we're going to continue in his footsteps, making that a greater process.
Absolutely. It's important for you to note that nominations have already been due. Is that correct?
That's correct. We started our nominations process back at the first part of December. Nominations should be basically complete by now. From all the companies that are going to nominate their best of the best contractors. So hopefully if your company nominated someone, it's in, because I know that our great associate, Melissa, has probably already sent out the notifications to the nominees, inviting them to come to a auditor/nominee training session on January 21st here at the Houston Area Safety Council, so that they can learn more about the safety excellence process.
Let's back up for just a second. When you talk about companies nominating contractors, what type of companies are eligible to participate?
The type of companies that are eligible to participate basically are all types of contract companies. We basically will, at some point over the next few weeks, before the finalists are notified and they're selected, we will break them down into categories, and typically there are about 7 categories, ranging from general contractors to specialty contractors. And I can't tell you all of those categories right off the top of my head, and I apologize for that, but we can make sure that gets to you and ensures that everybody's aware of what they are.
Now, are the nominating companies, are they strictly HBR owner members, or is it open to any owner-operator?
The nominated companies, or the nominating companies, can be non-HBR members as well. It's open to all. So if someone is watching this podcast, or HASCast, excuse me, make sure that if you're an owner company and for 2011 as we move forward, that you nominate your best of the best contractors. Fantastic.
So January 21st, tell me a little bit more about the process orientation that we're going to have here at the Safety Council on the 21st.
Sure. On January the 21st here at the Council, we're going to have an overview session, a little bit of a training session. We're going to have, of course, some information for the nominees, and ask them to fill out some additional information, what information they need to provide to the selection committee. We'll talk some about the selection process, what the finalists out of that selection process need to do to prepare for the field audit. The finalists in all the categories will get a field audit, or a audit that basically we call a field audit, but really it's a combination of documentation review and a audit in the field, where we actually go and talk with your employees so that we can understand if you're actually doing what you say you're doing in your documentation, which is where the rubber meets the road, where we get the best bang for the bucks that you're providing, the safety training that you're providing, the documentation, or the processes that your company has. That's where we really like to see how you're doing when you're doing it.
Absolutely. On the 21st, this is open to anyone to attend, correct? If you want to learn more about the process, even if you're not nominated, even if you've never participated with HBR, the idea is to raise the awareness, get people excited about it?
That's correct. It's open to anyone. We would encourage all individuals that might be interested. If you've never been a part of this process, please come, learn more about it. It's a great process. It's really exciting because how many opportunities do you get to go into a company and learn about their programs or processes and take something away. This is really about sharing. None of the companies hold anything back. Typically, if you see a good piece of work, they will typically share with you and without any reservation, and let you take something back to your company to not only to help your company as well in that process.
So, as we said earlier, you've been an audit team leader for years. The audit team itself is comprised of primarily contractors or a mixture of contractors and owners?
That's correct. The audit team leader typically is a owner company person. The typical audit team member is a contractor or a contract person, and with occasional owner mixed in with it. But those folks are really where the rubber meets the road in the process. They do all the work. They actually go with the audit team leader, and not, in my personal opinion, from being an audit team leader, they're the folks that make it happen. They're the ones that do the interviews. My style when I was an audit team leader was to really try to facilitate and only use the leader role as a tiebreaker or something in case that we needed that type of input from someone that had a difference, kind of a break, I guess the tiebreaker mentality.
So basically what you're saying is that the contractors that are members of the audit team decide which contractors are the best.
That's correct, absolutely. The audit process, you go and it's predetermined. The company that is being audited has the audit checklist. It's not a surprise. They're very aware of what we're going to come and audit. And again, we validate the documentation and then we go to the field and validate it with our personnel. And that's what really and truly makes or breaks the audit process. Is it real with your personnel in the field? Can they describe your processes as it is? As you say, as you have them written.
So would you think it's a value to a contractor to participate on an audit team so that in future years they know exactly what's going to be expected of them should they be nominated?
I think it would be a great value for a contract company to participate, or a contract company employed to participate on an audit team, for the simple fact is, just as you stated, if they choose to participate in the future or their company ends up being audited in the future as a finalist, they actually have a little bit of insight as to what really goes on in that process, because it's a great process. It's you learn so much, and all the audit teams members that I've had over the years, every one of them every year say that they come away from that audit or the group of audits that we've done learning something that they can take back to their companies.